Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Be Elite podcast. My name is Mr. Smith. I'm the podcast advisor, and today we have a few of our virtual academy students, and we have a fun topic to talk about. So, first, let me introduce Kirsten
Hello.
and Lupita.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about what makes a school elite. And when we say that, I want Kirsten to be able to kind of elaborate on what we're talking about.
Yeah, so what really drew my curiosity to this was the Ivy League schools. And so a lot of the famous Ivy League schools, such as Harvard, Princeton, Yale, they're internationally recognized by the whole world as one of the top schools in the world. And if you get a degree there, you're almost guaranteed to get a very good paying job. And so I was just wondering, like, why are these schools so special? And why are they so famous? Why are they so popular? Because at the end of the day, they do have good teachers, they do have good curriculum. There's so many good networking opportunities there, but I'm just wondering, like, what separates it from all the other schools? Because I feel like every school has something amazing to offer. I just wanted to figure out what is special about these schools and how can our school achieve that?
It's a really good question to put out there. So let's break down that, like an Ivy League school. We know that students want that to be their destination, right?
Mhm.
For some reason or another. For you two, what do you think that reason is? Like, because there's also community college, which is a perfectly acceptable pathway. It's awesome. I did community college,
Mhm.
but why the Ivy League schools? What makes them carry that clout? What do you guys think?
Maybe because a family member went there
Oh, so to be
and
a legacy?
it could probably be a legacy, or they probably liked it and something there is something you want to do. And you can just continue from there and progress from that school.
It's a good point. Yeah. What do you
Mhm.
think?
Well, one thing that I was thinking was about the history of many Ivy League schools because a lot of these Ivy League institutions, they've been in America since before America was a thing. Like as soon as people came and colonized the Americas, they put in these institutions, and a lot of the rich white males and a lot of the aristocratic families went there and got educated and just learned how to lead the colonies that were starting out here. And so I'm thinking possibly because of their history, because they've been here the longest. But I feel like there's also other schools. I haven't done too much research into this, but I feel like there has to be other schools that are even older. Like, for example, in Europe, there's so many old schools there because Europe is obviously has a longer history than America,
Mhm.
but there's schools there that are so much more older than American institutions, and yet they are not on the top charts of the global universities. Because if you look on there's a list of the top universities in the whole world, and Harvard is at like the top five, and most of the universities on that list are American universities.
That's an interesting thing to say. Yeah. For me, I think a lot of it has to also do with, I like that you said about the history part, the
Hmm.
historical part. So that way you're part of history when you go there. I think it also goes to looking at who went before you.
Hmm.
We know there's a lot of very successful people in a variety of fields that have went to these colleges.
Hmm.
So I think sometimes we see that and we're like, hey, they did that. Like, what if I go there? Am I going to be able to reach that level?
Hmm.
Um, but an Ivy League school, like I said, it is awesome. It's great. But don't feel like it has to be that first step. And just to throw it out there real quick here at Elite, if you're thinking like, where do I go? You know,
Hmm.
college pathway or career pathway. What do I do? We actually have an amazing counseling team, and they can help you with that. They can help you find colleges that have the pathway you want, and help you get set up for it. We have concurrent enrollment. We have students that go to college right now that are earning their degrees
Hmm.
while going to elite. So to reach that status to those schools, do you feel like it has to be longevity? It has to be history?
I don't think it has to be history because, as I said before, there's European institutions that have been around longer
And they haven't
and
reached that.
they have a richer history. And honestly, a lot of like the American values come from European values and European philosophers.
So
And a
then,
lot of these European philosophers studied at these old schools, and yet these old schools aren't as famous as Harvard.
do you feel like it's because the ones that make like the top of that list, like you said, a lot of them are North America? Do you think like the geography of it, where they're at, has to play in there?
I think I don't know. I feel like probably part of the fame that they have achieved is due to just America, because America is one of the top countries in the world and they're very famous, and like the culture that we've developed here is bleeding into many other cultures, and like sadly it's causing other cultures in other countries to kind of lose their uniqueness as they're adopting like the LA, the Western beauty standards or the Western culture, the Western food. Like, so I think it has something to do with that, just the way that we've popularized ourselves and just globalized our culture.
And I mean,
Mhm.
America itself is seen as kind of that destination point for a lot of people. So maybe
Mhm.
that's why their schools are also seen that way.
Mhm.
And then when you have schools like what's behind us, like they've garnered such notoriety,
Mhm.
but a lot of it, like you said, it could be from that just being in North America, just being in America,
Mhm.
Now I want to throw it out with Elite. So Elite is a charter school.
Mhm.
We have 3 academies. We do homeschool, flex, and virtual. How does a charter school like Elite start to rise up into that kind of an elite status for a
Yeah.
destination school? What do you guys think?
Yeah, and not only that, but I also think like the curriculum that we've created at the school, how can we make this the norm for other schools and like influence just like the standard in the country and even the state? Yeah,
Yeah, setting that trend.
yeah.
I mean, you have talked about this before, about being able to have something that is so groundbreaking that everybody else has to look and say, what they're
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah.
So let me throw it out there. What do you like best about Elite? And then let's build from there. So what do you like best about Elite?
I like the fact that I can get ahead of my homework and
Okay.
I can go for weeks, even a month without homework because I can just get it done right then and there.
So having that flexibility.
Having that flexibility, I can have days where I can work on it anywhere I want to be. I was Arizona when doing my homework because I had gone over there to see family, which was the best. I could go over and be in Utah where I was born and just do work there and play in the snow and be like, put my phone there and just, hey, I'm out in the snow. Don't mind me. I'm just chilling. We could do that. It's very flexible.
I love those examples of the flexibility.
Mhm.
Very cool. We had a student submit before pictures where they were at Mount Rushmore, and it was all part of their schooling. So they're way out there taking pictures, and you're like, and you're still doing your homework. You're still being elite. What about you? What's your favorite part?
Yeah, I also have to say that I love the flexibility. I love like how it allows me to travel and do my work at my own pace, my own schedule, but also just the individuality, because the curriculum and every student's schoolwork is unique to them and it's unique to their interests and their goals. And so I love how this student may be interested in math and they want to be a computer engineer when in the future. And so they're doing these CTE classes and they're doing these trainings, but maybe they're also passionate about basketball. So they're using their educational funds to pay for basketball classes. But maybe this student loves art and they're taking art classes and they're buying art supplies with their educational funds and they're going on all these field trips and like taking advantage of these CTE classes and they're doing this specific coursework so they can get into this school. And so I love the individuality of it because it's not like a normal school where every student has this set coursework that they have to do, but the courses that we take really reflects our interests and our values as people and as students. And then it also gives us the opportunity to nurture other passions. Like I can use my educational funds to buy art classes or sports classes or music or anything like that.
I like that you brought up the CTE pathways because I think that's a really good thing for students to see because it shows you how you could take what you're learning and implement it in the real world. And I mean, we have teachers that, like you mentioned, building curriculum that's custom to Elite. We have teachers that teach marketing with Mr. Diaz. You have Mr. Nelson teaching
Yeah.
songwriting. Then you have Mr. Bunn who's making like math fun,
Yeah.
which I mean,
Yeah.
come on, it's math.
And even the English classes as well, like I noticed, and I talked to the English teachers that lead as well about this, is the English classes that are taught here, they're not like normal English classes that are taught in brick and mortar schools. They address like real world issues and they really allow students to think critically about them and prepare them for their future.
I
Yeah.
completely agree. I think that the English curriculum that we have that our amazing teachers are building, like you said, it ties to the real world, but also they have some that ties to what you're interested in.
Mhm.
Like we have like during the summer, the Choose Your Adventure,
Mhm.
where you get to decide like what kind of English class I want to take. Do I want to go down like the fantasy route? Do I want to talk about sports and stuff?
Mhm.
So we have a fantastic team that does that. Our teachers are amazing and they create that curriculum. And I do feel that's a way that sets us apart. I feel our CTE pathways help set us apart from other schools to bring it to that level of saying elite, not just because elite's our name, but because we offer more to our students.
Mhm.
You mentioned the ed funds, and I think
Yeah.
that's a fantastic thing. We have students that use those all the time, but we also have so many things that we do you don't even have to use ed funds for.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'll mention him again. Mr. Nelson, you have somebody who's on Glee. You have one of the Glee singers,
Mhm.
and he's here teaching our students for the students don't pay anything, no ed
Yeah.
funds, no anything, and you get to learn how to write songs, you get to learn how to, play the ukulele. I can't think of a school that
Mhm.
offers that,
Yeah.
for free,
Yeah.
So I think when looking at it, yeah, if you look at really what Elite offers, even past the ed funds, just Elite as a whole,
Mhm.
I think we're well on our way
Yeah.
to becoming that.
And I feel like that's so similar because I know many of the Ivy League universities, they're liberal arts colleges. And so the thing with that is when you study there and you pursue a degree there, you're not pursuing a set major, but you're able to try out all these different classes and all these different passions that you may have. And then at the end of it, you get this degree that's recognized by almost the whole world.
I think that's a great reason to go to college is to take those without like having that super declared major,
Mhm.
being able to say like I want to try this. When I went to junior college, I took anthropology, I took archaeology. I thought it would be really cool. It was
Mhm.
super boring, anthropology, but that's just to me. I love cultural anthropology. I love learning about the study of people versus the study of what you find in the ground and saying like, oh, this is a snail, this is a whatever it may be. But I didn't know until I tried it. I took philosophy. I took so many things just to see like where am I supposed to go?
Mhm.
Did I go down those paths? No. But I enjoyed the class. So
Mhm.
I like that you said that going in there, taking a bunch of classes and figuring out where you want to go,
Mhm.
then get that degree that's recognized. And then you can move
Mhm.
forward. And then if you want, you can move forward to one of the Ivy League schools. You can also move forward in the workplace. You can move forward to another school. Possibilities are endless, and I think that's at Elite, we really want to tell people like, go your path. We've talked before. I know
Mhm.
your path is full of all these exciting things. Um, and yeah, I can't say your path is the same as your path.
Mhm.
And I never want to. I want you to be you and I want you to be you. And you guys know what you want to do. And our hope at Elite is just to make sure we help you do it, you know. So any closing thoughts on how we can make Elite elite?
I think like just continuing to lift up the student community and having everyone just promote the school and promote the innovation that's going on here because what's happening at our school is very unique and I feel like it's very important for it to be shared if we want the world to be a better place.
I agree. Sharing it to, just the people to your little circle, because your circle matters. You
Mhm.
tell one person that matters because what if they're like, hey, this is cool, I want to try it too. Any closing thoughts?
I would honestly say just to really promote the school because it's really cool.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. And that could be, like I said, as simple as just talking to somebody and telling them like, hey, I go to the school and it's pretty cool. Go on social media and tag us and say like, hey, I did this. It's really cool. I bring this up all the time. I'm going to bring it up again. We have this homeschool family, brother and sister go here, and they did this cool video about like homeschool, what makes them homeschool, and they put it up on Instagram and they tagged us, and we absolutely loved it. It's out there right now. We reshared it on ours because it's just them being themselves. They're goofy, selves, and that's what we want. We just want authentic self. I mean, you have talked about that too.
There's also something that I probably might have misheard, but I didn't hear you guys talk about in-person classes from here.
No, that's
So
true.
I love to sing. It's something that I have adored since I was a little niñita, barely starting to walk. Mom could tell me that I was screaming my lungs out trying to sing, but all she could hear is her eardrums being blown out of her head. Music is something that's very therapeutic to me, and this school has allowed me to stay online, but also go into schools and do choir. It, it's so cool. I can do culinary, I can do ASL in person, I can do dance. Like there's so many options. I never would have known this information if it wasn't because of Elite.
It's a good point, and there are a lot of in-person opportunities for that. And I like that you said like it's that like music is your passion, and now you still get to be able to do it. So I love that. We do have a lot of really cool in-person things that you can attend. Visiting Parent Square is your best bet to check those out, so that way you can see like what's going on. But yeah, I think Elite is we are absolutely on the right track, and our main goal is making sure the students are taken care of. We want to make sure you have what you need to succeed, because if you succeed, then we succeed. That's all we want. We just want you to be, happy and move forward in your life and do what you want to do, no matter what it is. So yeah, that's all we have for today. Please make sure you subscribe to Elite Academic Academy on YouTube. Where's that? It's probably where you're watching this right now. So please make sure you click subscribe and be on the lookout for more Be Elite podcast episodes coming soon. Signing off for Kirsten and Lupita. This is Mr. Smith. Thank you.
Bye.
Be Elite.
Be elite, be elite.
Good.
Be Elite. Be Elite.